world of handmade business can be tough when trying to monetize what you love. We've got truth bombs and motivation to help you find your way through. Passion to profit, let's start today, 'cause the world needs what you create. Tune in right now, it's your shot to learn how to be a handmade boss.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the How to Be a Handmade Boss podcast. I'm here with Fran. Hi Fran.
Hi.
And today I want to chat to you about Fran's business. So yeah, let's start off by telling us a little bit about you, what you do, your business and all that kind of stuff.
Lovely. So I run a business called Born to Shop Designs, and basically we make a range of comfortable clothing to celebrate the hobbies that you love. So the way it all came about was that I've had like a rough sort of personal few years, and about 2 years ago I joined my local CrossFit to sort of get me out of the mire. And shortly after that, another lady called Michelle joined, and we became like the best of friends. And we became quite interested in how hobbies and interests sort of bring people together and the sense of community. And like our CrossFit gym has got like the most amazing community sort of feel to it. And sort of everyone's really united in the things they do. So we sort of thought, it's really powerful how like hobbies can bring people together. So we started to think about how we could set up a business to celebrate that. And Born is all about basic clothing to celebrate the things we all love to do. So the moment we've got 3 ranges. So gardening, we've got Born to Garden, Born to Craft, and Born to Play, which is all about musicians.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So what kind of hobbies do you have then? There's a question for you.
Yeah. So when we chose the sort of the niches that we've got at the moment, we looked at the things we like doing and sort of most popular things in the UK. And so I'm a musician. I've been playing since like the age of 12, I think I started. So I played bassoon, flute, clarinet, piano, all sorts of things. And I was a music teacher for 17 years. So I'm all about the music. Michelle likes to garden, although she says she has to be supervised. So she doesn't trust herself entirely. And then, we're both open to a bit of crafting. So we sort of looked at the most popular things and the things that we like to do.
I love that. So you kind of covered this, but what kind of made you really fall in love with what you sell? Like what made you go make the connection between this is something that has brought us together, and I think this connection is something that I can make a business from?
So we looked at obviously gym wear and sportswear. There's so many kind of collections and specialist things, and our CrossFit's got its own range of clothing, and people turn up, they're like, oh, you've got the CrossFit t-shirt on. Oh. And we thought actually there's not that available for other things. If you walk down the street, you don't necessarily see like a gardener and think, oh yeah, they like to garden. So we thought actually it'd be really nice to sort of have that sort of standout thing you could wear that people go, oh look, they like crafting or they like gardening, like they're my person, sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's really, really good. So talking about like hobbies bringing people together, then what do you think is, I mean, apart from doing the hobby together, but what do you think brings people together? Because like for me, when I start a new hobby, sometimes I'm like a bit of a recluse and I kind of do it from home because I'm like, I'm not really that good at this yet, and I kind of don't really want to go out. So I guess kind of like what advice would you give to someone who has a little secret hobby on the side, but maybe does it in secret, not really kind of confident enough to tell people yet? What would your advice be? Because you sound like that you know a lot about that. You've done your target audience research. So yeah, what's your kind of advice, I guess?
I think just get out there and try, because there's always going to be somebody, that you know more than, or that they can help you in some way. And I think rather than thinking, I don't know what I'm doing, I've only just started crochet, I don't really know, get out there, meet someone, they can help you and you can get better. And then, like me and Michelle, you could find a new bestie, you never know. And so, I think sort of during COVID as well, a lot of people ended up doing things on their own, very segregated. But I think it's just much more fun to get out there and do it together. Like I could sit here and, play my bassoon for hours, but it's a bit dull. But I go out every week and I play in a group and it's much more fun. So Yeah, I think so.
I love that. So would you say then that your brand is more catered towards, I guess, extroverted people, or would you say introverted people, or are you like, just as long as you can get out and practice your hobby, like, with you?
I think anyone who likes the hobby, really. Yeah, definitely. I've got some of our designs a bit cheeky, and some of them are a bit more sensible. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. We've got a range of colours, and so yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so talk about like your journey then, as in you had this idea for the business. Like, tell us a little bit more about that big bang moment, and then what's happened since.
Okay, so my daughter's home educated, and I'm a driving instructor by day, which I don't particularly love doing, but it pays the bills. So I was sort of looking for something that would work around freedom of time, freedom of money, something that would just fit into my lifestyle rather than me having to keep sort of leaving her and going off doing driving lessons and things. So I'd sort of dabbled around with a few different businesses, none of which had really sort of really settled well with me. And then Michelle's actually a marketing person by day. So,
Yes.
Oh, hang on a minute. We've got a good partnership here. So it was last summer I just suggested to her, I'm creative, you're marketing. I think we could do really well together. So we sort of sat down last September, October time, and bashed out some ideas, and then sort of tried to get it up in time for Christmas, and made our first few sales just before Christmas.
Love that. Brilliant. So I guess, like, where in your timeline did you come across Handmade Bosses, me, the community? Like, when did that come into the mix?
So I came across you a couple of years ago now. I think on YouTube, possibly.
Yeah.
And I've watched your YouTube channel quite a lot. And I always managed to miss your lives because I was always like in a driving lesson or something like that. So so there was a catch up on there. And then I had a different business at the time. And I wanted to sell sort of digital printables and things. So I joined Handmade Bosses, must have been just before Christmas 2023, and started working through it for that. And then I kind of realised that wasn't quite the direction I wanted to go in. So sort of stopped and backtracked. And then once we found our idea together, I thought actually Etsy's a really good place to be. So dived back in and started again.
Awesome. And that's the HBSA, right? Yeah, perfect. And so you said you joined the academy a little while ago now. So like the latter end of 2023, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I guess my question is, what impact has it had on your businesses? Because I know obviously you had one and working through it, and I guess maybe almost seeing, I suppose the mindset module might have kind of helped kind of usher that little bit along. And I guess kind of you soon started to realize that what you were doing was not where you ultimately wanted to end up, right?
Yeah.
So what impact has it had on your current business, and I guess also past as well, because that's important. That's a stepping stone, right?
Yeah. I think it's really good sort of to clarify things like your target market, and sort of thinking about the research, how to go about researching through other Etsy shops, and sort of working out, where your niche is, that kind of thing. And then for our current business, because then I'd done that work previously, I was able to set it all up much quicker. And we got our first sales through Etsy ultimately.
Brilliant. Yeah. So would you say that, like, at what point, I'd say, through doing the last business, were you like, because I think there's going to be a lot of people watching, listening, wherever, who might be in the same boat as maybe where you were last year, even the year before now, where they're kind of like, I'm in this business and I'm kind of, it's like the sunk cost like thing, isn't it? Where you've put time into it, you've put money into it, but there's that little part of you that's like, oh, I'm not really sure if this is my thing. What was the ultimate, I guess, straw that broke the camel's back then, that you were like, no, enough?
I think I just wasn't enjoying it. It became a chore every day to think, I've got to do something on this business. I've got to grow it. I've got to do the socials. I've got to do the marketing. I've got everything to do. And I just thought, I'm just not enjoying it. And I sort of sat down and I thought, can I imagine myself still doing this in a year? And I just thought, no, I think it'll just get worse and worse and worse. I just don't like it. And yeah, I see quite a lot of people in the Facebook group sort of going, oh, well, I've started this, but now I'm not sure. And I just think, life's too short for doing stuff you hate doing. So if you don't love it, leave it.
Yeah, no, agreed. And I think we've all done it where we've started something. I've done it loads and loads of times where you start something and then you're like, yeah, this is really good. And then you get certain ways down the road and you realize, okay, no, this isn't actually what I'm feeling my passion for. It's not really hitting the mark for me. And I guess it's almost, it doesn't matter if you do that once, twice, thrice.
No. And I think it's hard because, like you say, you think I've invested a lot of time. I've invested a lot of money into this. It's taken up a lot of my life. I can't give up. But actually, you can still take things you've learned from that and feed them forward into the next thing. So I don't think anything's ever like a waste of time. So you can't think, oh, I've wasted all my time doing that, because you must have learned lessons doing it. Plus, you found out more about yourself because now you don't like that thing.
Yeah. Do you almost think that it's like a rite of passage to start something, or maybe not even start something, but have the idea and play it out in your head and then kind of lose interest in it again a little ways down the road?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I do that quite a lot because I get bored very, very easily with things. So,
yeah.
So when I sort of really sat down and said to myself, come on, Fran, like, have a proper talk to yourself here. What do you actually like? That's kind of partly where the hobbies thing came as well, because I thought, actually, there's only a few things that have ever stuck in my life for any length of time. And music, obviously, has been there for almost all my life. So I thought, actually, yeah, I think you've got to sit down and think, what do I actually like? And can I build a business around it? Rather than that looks like a really good business idea, I'll just do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. And I have ADHD, so for me, it's like when you have ADHD, it's just you have so many ideas. Like sometimes you can't even because you're just like,
It's just like,
yeah. Like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. And not just business ideas either. I think sometimes having a creative business is almost like an enabler.
You think, I can cram that in, I can cram this in, I could do this, I could do that. No, stop.
Yeah, that's it. I always have like the 3-month rule where if I have like a really good idea and I have that strong pull to do something about it, I'm like, no, let's pin it for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then in 3 months time, if you're still like oomphy about it and you're like, yeah, I can really, then do it, get a little way down the road, because it's not until you start something and then you start doing the notions and going through that you realize, okay, no, actually I'm feeling as if this is not for me. Like normally it's when you get to like the marketing and the socials, the creative side is really the good thing, and then you get to the marketing and then like I guess what a lot of people would call the boring stuff, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, I think that's why our business has started well, because obviously Michelle loves marketing. And I'm like, okay, off you go. And obviously I like all the creative stuff. So actually, yeah, I think, and again, my previous businesses, I've worked alone and I found that quite demotivating at times.
Yeah.
But I think actually having a business partner has made a huge amount of difference this time. So again, I think for some people, if you can find someone to do it with, actually it's a good boost.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Or at least I think someone that is there alongside you that you can just check in with and keep each other accountable. I don't know about you, but that for me is a big thing, is if you're working on your own, you can quite easily go, oh, I'm not really feeling that today, so why don't we just do this instead, or what have you. So yeah, agreed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a few days where I'm like, oh, well, maybe I just won't do Pinterest today. And then I'm like, no, I'll get into terrible trouble with Michelle. I need to do it.
It's very, very true. I recently started personal training back in January time, which I'm very proud of. It's the longest time I've ever stuck with it. And I tell you, there's been some days where the only reason I've stuck with it is because Sasha, my PT lady, she's like, I know she's going to be asking me the questions and be like, have you done this, have you done that, and I can't lie, so I'm like, yeah. Like, no.
Rushes off to do it.
Yeah, so it's I think just again having someone there to almost like report to is really good. Definitely.
Yeah. And again, it's like that at our gym, the coaches are always on you, like, have you weighed in this week, have you booked your classes? Have you done this? Have you done that? So yeah, it's just having that someone, isn't it, to make sure you're staying on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, agreed. So what impact has, I would say, like the HBSA and your current business, what impact has that had on your life?
So it's just brought me a lot of happiness, to be honest. It's really nice just to have like that sort of joint something with someone, and to have like the sort of the idea that actually now I've got something that's going to build in my future, and I'm going to have a business that's going to just run while I sleep, and I can just go off and do what I want when I want, and actually it'll still be there, it'll still be running. So yeah, it's just brought like a really positive glow to my life, actually. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, not like, it's a brand new business, so I'm not a millionaire yet, but yeah, it's the thought is there, and it's just really sort of positive thing.
I love that. I love the yet that you put there.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes. Gotta be positive.
Love that. So my question is, as a kind of person that you are, what is your favorite part of the course? Like what's the thing that you get to, because you've probably gone through it a couple of times now. What's your part where you get to and you're like, yes, I enjoy it.
It's probably like the kind of like the setting up of the shop and making it look all lovely, and like how to design the banners and all that kind of like pretty stuff.
Yeah. Amazing. And what was your biggest takeaway from the HBSA? Like what was your biggest kind of like aha moment that you were like, yeah, no, okay, that is, I must keep that in my brain at all times?
I think, mainly that Etsy is like a long-term project. Like, I think sort of you hear a lot about Etsy, like, oh yeah, just open a shop and you'll make loads of money, and that'd be brilliant. But I think, actually the fact that you've got to persevere, you've got to get it set up right. And there aren't really any quick wins with it. You've got to keep going. So yeah, I think that's the one thing I would keep in my brain from there. Like there's a lot of layers to it, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so a question I've got here is, how different is your business from 1 year ago? Obviously, it's a completely different business. So there's a lot you can unpack here.
Yeah, I mean, it's brand new. So yeah. I suppose 1 year ago I was on my own. So that's a big difference. It was more kind of like digital prints and a lot of sort of in-person stuff. So I was running like masterclasses and things online for musicians, and we had sort of weekly meetings and a lot of Zoom stuff, which I realized is not good for me at all. It really stresses me out. So so now we've just got the website and the Etsy shop, and it runs and we lurk in the background.
Love it. And where do you see your business a year from now?
So obviously then I'll be a millionaire, so that'll be good.
I love
that. But also we want to do quite a lot of community work. So for instance, last month we partnered with what they called Alzheimer's Research, and we sort of donated some of our profit to them because they did like a UK knitting challenge. And this month we've partnered with a local gardening charity called Tuppenny Barn. So we'd like to sort of do more sort of community stuff, because we don't want to just, like get on there, sell T-shirts, make money. We want to sort of build a community of hobbyists and that. So yeah, we'd like to do a lot more sort of community work and building sort of charity stuff.
Yeah.
And then, just expanding our ranges. We're hoping to start like a Born to be Active range later this year. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That sounds really, really good. Okay. What is one piece of advice that you would give to yourself a year ago?
So I would say you look after yourself, and then the right people will find you.
Oh, I love that. That's really, yeah. I really like that. I think that is so, so true.
Yeah. It's really easy to go out like, oh, I must find people. I must, who will I make friends with? Who will I date? Etc. But I think actually, if you just look after yourself and you're happy and healthy, then you'll attract the right people.
Oh, that is grand. I think that's such true advice. I think also it goes with like problems that you've got as well. If you're really trying to solve a problem, you're like, come on, you're trying to force it. It's not going to happen. Whereas I find the problems solve themselves if you just let it go and just go, right, okay, yes, it's still an issue, but I'm just going to carry on my merry way, and eventually a solution will present itself.
Yeah.
I think we're like, that's the one.
Yeah, very much so. And there's a lot of things in life I should probably like focus on and concentrate on, but I very much have a kind of I'll just leave that there for a little while and see what happens with it. And yeah, like you say, 9 times out of 10 things just resolve themselves. So yeah,
that is correct. And the last question before I want you to plug away is what crazy but true fact is there about you?
Well, I was talking about this actually with Michelle, and I was like, I can play at the medieval 3-hole pipe.
Wow.
There you go. She said I should tell you that I can do 100 unbroken back squats.
100 unbroken back squats. Jeez Louise, girl. I mean,
there we go.
That's like insane.
Yeah, I did it with a 35 kg weight. So yeah.
Oh my God. There's me with my little like 10k kettlebell, like I love that.
Yeah, there you go.
You must be the friend that if there's like a hill, you're like, can I sprint up it? Yes, go.
No, I don't run up hills. I walk up them, but I won't run up a hill.
Whereas there's like me, like about a third of the way, like just hang on a minute.
Yeah, just a little sit down,
a little rest, a little perch. Okay, right. I would love for you to plug away. Tell us all about the things, collections coming up, links, plug.
Okay, so we've got 3 collections. We've got Born to Craft. So there's all sorts of things in there for you knitters, crocheters, artists, etc. out there. We have got Born to Garden. So again, we've got our favourite sweatshirt is in the Born to Garden collection, which is Fork Yeah, garden fork. And then we've got our old Born to Play. So if you play like certain instruments, we've got guitar, drums, ukulele, flute, all sorts of things on there. Everything's available in t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip hoodies. We've got a range of lovely colours: black, grey, blue, pink. And it's all on our website, which is www.born2.shop, or on Etsy at Born to Shop Designs.
Awesome. Brilliant. Well, Fran, thank you so much for telling us more about your journey and all the stuff that you've been up to. It's been really, really nice to chat.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And to everyone listening / watching the How to Be a Handmade Boss podcast, I will see you same time, same place next week. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to How to Be a Handmade Boss. And if you're eager to boost your Etsy sales within just 7 days, then be sure to join my most popular free training at handmadebosses.com/conversion. You can also find the link in the show notes as well. Keep an eye out for our next episode where we'll be continuing our journey towards handmade business success together. And until then, keep crafting and stay inspired, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.